What is up, YouTube? Happy Friday, friends. I hope everyone's having a great week. I'll wait a few moments for you guys to join me, but if you are catching the replay or you're just signing on, my name is Christine with Gauge Girl Training, an online meal planning and coaching service. I am a food scientist and chemical engineer by training, and the focus of this YouTube channel is to educate and empower you guys to reach your health and fitness goals. And I feel that one of the most common reasons people don't reach their goals outside of mindset concerns is the fact that there is so much information out there on the internet, and it can be very confusing for people to know what type of information, what type of content they should apply to themselves. And that's the focus of this channel. And fundamentally, I believe in a macros based approach to nutrition. And what that means essentially is that you are making your nutrition decisions based off of a place of awareness, a place of intentionally choosing the foods that you eat to help you reach your specific goals. And all macros means is macros is short for macronutrients, and all food is made up of only three things. It's either a protein, a carb, or a fat. And yes, there is water. Yes, there is inorganic material that gets cooked off as ash content, but at the end of the day, all of your food is made up of only three things. And I thought it would be cool to begin to bring some of my live Q&As over here onto YouTube. I do these on my Instagram account quite often, but I would like to start doing them here on YouTube so that you guys can benefit from the replays. You guys can benefit from being able to ask me a question live on the spot. And anything you want to know about macros, about nutrition, about health, about hormones, about why you're not seeing progress. Hey, Marianne Jean, welcome to the broadcast. And any question regarding fitness, nutrition, meal prep. Hello, Tanisha Kelly, welcome. So for those of you guys who are just joining the broadcast, welcome. Martina, Mina, Liali, what's up, everybody? So why don't you guys drop a question if you have any questions regarding nutrition science. And in the meantime, while you guys are getting your questions together, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I feel will help motivate you to continue to pursue your goals. What are my thoughts on fasting for fat loss, 24 hours or longer? I think it's not necessary. I think that it's a bit of an extreme. And while when you do extreme things, you can experience extreme results, for me, I don't find it all that practical and or necessary. However, I can understand where if somebody has been eating poorly, if you have not been feeling well, if you're experiencing all kinds of food intolerances, or if you're coming off of days of eating like crap, I could see how a 24-hour fast might feel nice to give your body a break. But in general, I think it may be a bit extreme, a bit unsustainable, and I think that it might foster unsustainable behaviors in the long run. Latanya Polite says, you eat healthy, you exercise, but your weight is the same. Could it be your hormones? By the way, you're in your 40s. So the thing is, Latanya, you can be changing your body composition but you won't see that result on the scale. So you could be gaining some lean muscle mass and you can be dropping your body fat, but that's not necessarily going to show itself with a change on the scale. Now, for women, as we do get older, it does become more and more challenging to drop weight. The reason for that is our BMR, our basal metabolic rate, will change, and it's not as high as it used to be. And as a result of that, we naturally need less food than we may be used to eating. And I think that it's a rude awakening once you realize how much food you should really be eating. Hey, Layla Lulu, welcome to the broadcast. It's a rude awakening. I don't know about you guys. Once you realize how much food you should actually be eating versus the portions that you're actually used to eating, it can be a really rude awakening. What scale do you recommend, if any, to check body fat? So I don't really think scales are all that accurate when it comes to measuring body fat. I think that those body fat analysis scales, like the bathroom style scales, they can tell you relative changes in your body fat, assuming that you are doing it the same time of day, same level of hydration, all of that. I'm not a big fan of those. I think one of the most effective things that you can do is get it professionally analyzed, and I believe that the DEXA scan is probably going to be one of the most effective tools to do so. And I believe you can purchase like a Groupon and get multiple ones of those because you want to go back and get it done multiple times. Do I have any recommendations for somebody who has Hashimoto's causing hypothyroidism to lose weight? Lisbeth Smith, yes, I do have recommendations for that. I have a low carb, high fat protocol where I don't recommend you necessarily go on a ketogenic diet, but there is a range of fats to carbs that is not quite keto, probably in the range of about, it's going to depend person to person, anywhere from 35 to about 60% fat. And as far as carbs, probably anywhere under 30% carbs. So there are exact ratios worked out for you in my low carb, high fat protocol. But Lisbeth, I highly recommend that you work to manipulate some of those things. So hello, Devin Miranda. Hope I'm saying your name correctly. Rebecca LePage says you used to work out a lot, but now being heavier, harder to work on your joints. What are some workouts to start back up? I always recommend you start your workouts with at least 10 minutes of stretching. Start out with 10 minutes of stretching, do some dumbbells. I'd say start with dumbbells. I think you could probably get all of the range of motion if you are brand new, if you have a lot of joint pain. I would, oh, hi Shandi, how are you? It's all good. Hang on, let me go back to that question. Workouts to start back up, start with some dumbbells, start basic. And I have a really good home gym workout program that pairs really nicely with the 6-week shred that utilizes dumbbells and kettlebells, Rebecca LePage. And it can be done at home, you can do it at the gym. And it's beginner friendly, but it's challenging enough that you can modify it and manipulate it to your fitness level. It's a great way to start back up, and it's excellent if you pair it with our 6-week shred. So it's called the 6-week shred home workout plan. And if any of you guys have questions and you want to contact me directly, contact me via DM on the Gage Girl Training Instagram account. Hey Travis, thanks so much. Poor Mina, hello. Desiree, hello. Rita Gomez says, can you lose weight by eating at maintenance calories if you're working out? You don't want to build muscle, so you don't want your muscle to go to waste by eating too little. You can't lose weight if you're eating at maintenance calories. Maintenance means you're maintaining your weight. So you do need to be in a caloric deficit if you want to lose weight. Now, you're saying you don't want to lose your muscle, and that's fine. You don't necessarily need to lose muscle. So Rita, it sounds like you're looking for something called body recomposition, which is where you stay the same weight, but you drop your body fat and increase your lean muscle definition. And if you want help on how to set that up, Rita, I recommend you go with one of our Flex programs. It comes with a one-on-one consultation with me. I'll build you a workout and I'll give you some customized macros to work with. Devin Miranda says, I have more than 25 pounds to lose. How often should I be doing the shreds and how much time should there be in between them? So if you have more than 25 pounds to lose, we do about a one to 2 week break between the shreds, and it's very effective. You can repeat the process probably up to 3 times. But the thing is, you can use the shred as a jump start, but then go with something a little bit more customized. So that way you are not in a place where you're consistently going too low. Let me see here. Sorry, guys, the screen is being bombarded with stuff. Hi from Florida, Rosanna. Manuela, am I going to share stretching routines on YouTube? Yes, I am. I have never really emphasized the importance of stretching before working out, and it has, in this last year, it's something that I've really integrated a lot. It's been very helpful, and I actually have a tendency to have tight hips, as weird as that may sound, and I've been able to do a lot of really unique stretches. Trust me, they look a little weird. So when I show you guys these stretches, you'll be like, what the what, Christine? You look all kinds of crazy. But I will show you guys because my hips have been tight, and I will definitely be happy to do a stretching video here on YouTube. Alana Allen says, hi, CH. You have questions. You're currently doing keto, wondering about all these approaches you hear about carb cycling on keto. You can carb cycle on keto, but you probably want to wait until you are keto adapted first. Carb cycling on keto, it's also known as cyclical keto. It's an effective approach. I've had a few clients who have been able to successfully implement this, but it's not for everybody. Cyclical keto, again, wait until you're fully keto adapted. Probably give yourself at least a solid 6 weeks on keto before integrating that. And then you can do carb refeeds probably at most once every 10 to 21 days. And I could help you set that up. If you are interested, we could do a one-on-one consultation. Hey, Ruthie, hope all is well in Thailand. It is snowing here. Grace Dottie says, what if you've calculated your macros using BMR and TDEE calculations? 800 calorie deficit, but fat loss is still not happening. You're trying 5 days per week with this. It sounds like your deficit is too extreme. So Grace Dottie, I have a really good video called, I believe it's called How to Adjust Your Macros. And it sounds like you might actually benefit from a refeed day. Check out that video on how to adjust your macros. It's like a 30-minute video. I go through in painstaking detail exactly what to do. Desiree Morris says, you have a strained LCL. Are there any exercises to avoid, or should I just make sure to have good moderations? Under those circumstances, I encourage you to consult with a physical therapist. Please, if you can, do a 40-year-old and over diet and fitness plan. And the answer to that, Maria, I can do that via custom protocols. But the thing is, our metabolism is so, like, it sounds like you would do really well with a custom meal plan under those circumstances. And I can't make a one-size-fits-most over 40 style plan. Alana Allen asks, also keto subs for somebody who is not too comfy with eating meat for long term, maybe a pescatarian or vegetarian keto. Alana, what I say is look at the macros on the plan, and in the back of the plan there is a substitution guide. So for instance, if you don't want like chicken thighs, you can, or if you don't want steak, you can substitute that for salmon. You could substitute that for a fattier cut of meat. You could have some eggs. I encourage you to use the substitution guide. Don't get so hung up on the actual food itself. Focus on the macros. Look at what the macros are, focus on them, and look at what other protein sources. There's a whole list in the back of the shred. There's a whole list in the back of the shred that will showcase, see, like we have all of these substitution things. Look at the macros. Focus on those macros. All right. You don't want to lose muscle. Happy Life says, hi, for fat loss, should the number on the scale... Hang on, guys. These comments keep disappearing. Okay. Should the number on the scale matter, or should we focus on body composition? Do you know? For fat loss, do not focus on the scale. Focus on the changes in your measurements. Oh, hi, Shandi. What's the best way to chat with you? I encourage you to go to gagegirltraining.com and set up a one-on-one consultation. We can talk about whatever you want during that time, and we can go more in depth on your specific goals. Tanisha Kelly, you purchased the 12-week endo workout. When you do planks, it puts too much pressure on your low back. In turn, your low back hurts a lot more. What exercise can you do in place of that? That is a good question. Instead of doing planks, instead of doing stuff horizontally, I would say to do one of those things where you're like sitting on it's like an armrest. I would encourage you to do those types of things and like draw your knees in. That way it'll put less strain on your lower back. And you really want to focus on your abs as well, but you probably want to focus on building up strength in your lower back as well, because our core is counterbalanced by our lower back. So you may want to try focusing on some hyper extensions. Is it okay to go over your macros by 5 to 10 grams? You want to be careful. You want to be careful. I would say you want to keep your proteins and carbs within 10%, your fats within 5%. Being off 10 grams of fat is pretty high. It's pretty high. My BFF is fasting with bone broth. Isn't that not fasting? How do you know if keto is a good thing for you? So fasting with bone broth, there's different definitions of fasting. Some people go by the definition of fasting where you're going through a period of time where nothing is going to spike your insulin levels. And under those circumstances, having bone broth would fall under those circumstances. How do you know if keto is right for you? I would definitely say that's a tough question. Obviously, if you are pre-diabetic, diabetic, or you have insulin resistance and your body is not able to properly manage insulin, you should consider keto. Another thing I want to say is that if you find that you need to shake things up, that you're having a hard time complying to your, if you're having a hard time complying to your meal plan or diet, and the reason for that is because your hunger cravings, like your ability to stay full is just not good. Like if you're constantly hungry and it drives you insane and you always feel like you need to snack and your blood sugar is all like out of whack, it may be good to try keto for a season. And the reason I say that is because by shifting some of your macros to higher fat and lower carb, what it does is it stabilizes your blood sugar. It allows you to feel more satisfied and satiated. And I know for myself, I've done keto 4 different times, and every experience was different. But the number one thing I loved about the ketogenic approach to nutrition was the fact that I didn't feel hungry. On traditional meal plans, you may have periods where you just feel hungry and it sucks. But because of the high amount of fat that I had in my diet at that time, I did not feel hungry at all. It was awesome. And if you feel that you have a hard time focusing and you're feeling hungry all the time and your sugar cravings are out of control, I would say you may want to consider it. Okay, sorry, so many questions. Hello from Texas, Jesse B. All right, Devin Miranda says, okay, after repeating the shred 3 times, should I contact you for a different type of plan? You're trying to get in shape for your wedding and you want to maintain progress you make during the shreds? Yes, Devin, I think that would be a great approach. Tanisha Kelly says, what's the best macro counter? I still live and die by MyFitnessPal, and the reason I say this is because once you start entering foods that you commonly eat, and a lot of people think that they like a lot of variety, but most people probably end up eating about 10 to 20 foods max. They all get stored in there, and all you need to do is once you enter it, it's in your most frequently commonly used foods list. So I swear by MyFitnessPal. Yes, this stuff is user generated, but as long as you're selecting the correct one, I think it should be fine. Hello from Chicago, Lillian. trying out some recipes. What is the best app to track macros? I suggest MyFitnessPal. Leali says it's hard to stay within your daily caloric intake when starting keto. You're just eating keto foods and trying to stay within keto. Still haven't reached ketosis due to slip-ups. I encourage you to follow a meal plan. In the beginning, as opposed to guessing and as opposed to making it harder on yourself, if you follow a meal plan, you are going to be way more likely to be successful. So think about this. If you're trying to go from point A to point B and you've never been there before, picture you're driving to a destination. You've never been there before. You have an idea of where it is, but you don't want to type the address in your GPS and you just kind of want to go out on the highway and just wing it and just try to see if you get there. It makes no sense. Like, follow a plan. Either, follow a plan. I think that you're going to end up wasting a lot of time and energy by doing that. Now, by tracking and you can move away from that once you become keto adapted and once you have a better feel for what the ratios really look like. But in all reality, guys, you should be following a plan. And for those of you who are just joining, I appreciate everybody being here live in this broadcast. I do ask you guys to please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot on YouTube. So if everybody can please give the video a thumbs up. I see that there's a lot of people in this room, but I only have 5 thumbs up. So I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Let's see. Okay, questions. Maria Del Villar says, would you recommend doing the keto shred again for maximum fat loss? Would it matter if we switch to a different one? If the ketogenic approach is correct for you, I would say definitely go ahead and do so. But the shreds are effective, so it's a matter of making sure that you're in compliance to them. So a lot of people think that they're going to lose more weight on keto or that keto is a harder diet. Initially on keto, a lot of people, you're going to lose some water weight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing more body fat initially. Now, the most effective protocol is one that you can stick to. So if you like eating like the bacon and cheese and avocado and salmon and nuts and you like those things and that keeps you full and satisfied, stick with the type of shred that you feel like you can stick to. You gave up your own phone to afford the gym. Best thing you ever did. Well, congratulations, Travis. Can you send pictures on my Instagram of your body so I can tell you what your body type is? Rita Gomez, yes, yes, you can. So you guys, if you guys want to contact me directly, the fastest way to contact me directly is to shoot me a DM over on the Gauge Girl Training Instagram account. Okay, let's see. Sandy Rodriguez says, I have PCOS, so would keto be great for me? The answer is yes, Sandy. PCOS is a very specific condition, and people on PCOS do very well on the ketogenic protocol. I've had a lot of great people, great clients who have had amazing breakthroughs on keto. Amazing breakthroughs on keto. So if you have PCOS, I definitely recommend that you try that. Let's see here. So Patrick Boyd asks, is it possible to start intermittent fasting at like 2 p.m. and break the fast early in the morning? So if you start at 2 p.m., you'll be done by about 8 p.m. if you're doing a 16-8. So you can use any window, any feeding window that works for you. Lorraine says, how do I determine my daily macros? I'm 5'2" and I weigh 186. So there's 2 ways, Lorraine. I have a video called How to Calculate Your Macros. You can follow that video and watch the tutorial. It's a 30-minute video. Or I can calculate them for you. You can go to GaugeGirlTraining.com and we can set up a one-on-one macros consultation where I will talk to you on the phone. We'll talk about your goals. We'll figure out what you're trying to accomplish. And we'll take it from there. Let's see, Elliot Destin Nova Ren says, how long to stay on keto and or low carb, high fat protocol to combat insulin resistance. I think you should stay on it for a minimum of 6 to 12 weeks. Minimum of 6 to 12 weeks, and then go to your doctor, get your A1C levels tested in your blood. A1C is something, those levels, there are specific guidelines that your doctor can tell you of what's a healthy range, what is a pre-diabetic range, and what's a diabetic range. So stay on it long enough to improve your body's ability to be more sensitive to insulin. You want to be insulin sensitive. That means you're healthy. So go based off of the data, Elliot. Get that tested by your doctor. For those of you who have health insurance, you should be able to get this stuff tested. Travis Cali says the BMR calculator said 1875 to lose and 2075 to maintain. Is that too less of calories? I'm sorry, I can't really answer that, Travis. I don't really understand the context. I would need more information. If you want to talk to me in depth about your specific situation, I'd be happy to do a one-on-one macros consult for you. Design Girl 33 says, lost 30 pounds so far doing weight lifting and helping realize you are a mesomorph really helped you shred fat. Love lifting and 4 pounds away from the goal weight. Thanks for the videos. I'm so happy for you, Design Girl. Congratulations. Phoenix X asks, Christine, is it good to cut back on carbs and adjust macros for a day or two after drinking lots of alcohol to reduce gaining body fat? I think you asked a question about alcohol the other day, Phoenix X. I mean, honestly, I would just keep going as normal. I would definitely keep going as normal. I wouldn't really make those adjustments, because the thing is, when your body is processing alcohol, you're not metabolizing anything else. You're not metabolizing anything else at all. So under those circumstances, I encourage you to, sorry, I'm getting all kinds of crazy comments on here. I'm blocking some people. Okay, let's see here. I know I'm missing questions. Okay, Rosanna C says, how much water do I recommend drink daily? I recommend you drink about 1 gallon of water a day. Alana Allen asks, how do you know if the goals you are setting are reasonable? You've never loved your body. I don't have a picture of what you want to look like or a number. You just don't want to hate your body anymore. Alana, I'm really sorry to hear that you feel that way. As far as goals, this is what I suggest, guys. I suggest focusing on making progress. And how much progress can you sustainably make? I think that at any point in time, you should never focus on trying to lose more than 10% of your total body mass at a time. So for instance, if you weigh 200 pounds, 10% of that is 20 pounds. So focus on losing just that 20 pounds and getting to 180. If you are 150, 10% of that is 15 pounds. So only focus on the 10% rule. And for that 10%, how long should you give yourself? It depends. If you want something really healthy and sustainable, give yourself 3 to 6 months to lose that 10%. And I guarantee you it'll be slow, it'll be steady, but it'll be sustainable if you want some more structure and guidance on how to go about it. Can you lose weight faster? Yes, you can. You certainly can lose weight faster. However, I think that if you put it within this framework of 10%, 3 to 6 months. What do you do when you are on the budget shred, but you are craving some of the meals from the last 2 phases? So Brianna, what you can do is you can have those meals, just hit your daily macronutrient goals for that day. Devin Miranda says, I like the macro approach. I've tried to understand it for 2 years. Finally, before I found you on YouTube and finally understood it works. It's all about being disciplined. Absolutely, Devin. Once it clicks, it's just a matter of following through with the execution. Hey, Naima, I hope you're well. Do laxatives help to lose weight? Stay away from laxatives, guys. Don't even mess with that. Okay, Brianna Williams says, what if you were having a rough time being consistent with the last 2 weeks of the shred due to those cravings? How do you overcome that? What you do is have the free foods, you drink water, and worst case scenario, if you need to eat more, go back to phase 2. Go back to phase 2 if you absolutely have to, but it's only 14 days. Phase 3 is only 14 days, you guys. It's a shred. Like, I don't want to have to redefine what a shred is, but a shred is a more aggressive approach to fat loss for people who want to take their fat loss to the next level. The shred is nowhere near as aggressive as what my bikini competition prep has been over the years. And it's kind of one of those things, you have to suck it up. But if you are not feeling comfortable with that, which is perfectly fine, you can revert back to phase 2 or revert for something more customized for a time frame that you feel more comfortable with. Let's see here. Maria SS, I wonder the number of pounds to date your programs have helped people lose. I seriously believe you have the most comprehensive programs on the market. That means a lot. At this point, I've had over 25,000 clients over the last going on 6 years. I'm sure it's quite a bit. I'm sure it's quite a bit as far as pounds lost. Let's see here. Erica says, I am interested in becoming a bikini fitness model. Any of your plans might be specific to that? If you have any shreds that can get your body closer to that goal. Erica, the first question I ask you, if you want to be a bikini fitness model, is what is your current body fat percentage? The shred will help you. I have had the shred be a great tool to break through to the next level, but if you want to be a bikini fitness model, as a female, you're going to need to have visible abs. In order to have visible abs as a female, you're going to need to be at approximately 13% body fat or lower. Manuela says the same thing. You want your abs to show and get rid of back fat. Females, in order for us to have visible abs, you need to be about 13% body fat. And that's very low for a woman. Women naturally carry a lot more body fat on our frame because our bodies are trying to get ready to have children. So the thing is, it's going to be a lot harder. I remember when I was doing my contest prep and one of my business partners, who was a male, was doing his contest prep at the same time. I probably had to do 4x the amount of cardio that he did. 4x, because it was just so much harder for women to drop body. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Our bodies, females, listen up, our bodies don't naturally want to be crazy lean. It goes against nature. There's nothing wrong with being muscular and strong and fit, but to be like bikini model or, bikini competitor shredded it's not our body's natural set point. So don't be surprised when you're going to come into some struggles to get there. And not only are you going to have some struggles to get there, you're going to have struggles to stay there. The amount of energy that you're going to have to put into, number one, getting there is going to be a lot, but number two, staying there is going to be even a whole lot more. Let's see, I'm missing some questions. William Griffith asks, what do I think of keto? I think that it's an effective protocol that can specifically help people with insulin resistance and any women typically over 40 with some hormonal health issues, including PCOS. I think that it's a protocol that should not be ignored. I think that the ketogenic diet is definitely here to stay. I think that there are a lot of people who need to consider it. It's not for everybody. I don't like people looking at it as a fad diet. I don't encourage you to just do it arbitrarily. I do it if you have a medical reason to do so, but it can definitely help you if you fall under those criteria. Tanisha Kelly asks, what is a time frame you should eat after a workout? You're on the keto shred. That's perfectly fine. I mean, in general, I encourage you to eat at least within 30 minutes to an hour after your workout. But if your natural schedule is a little bit later, it's a little bit different on keto. Under a regular protocol, I'd push you to eat a little bit sooner, but under keto, that is fine. Brittany Chavon says, I've tried to understand what's my body type, but you don't know if you're an endomorph or a mesomorph. Brittany, do me a favor, shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Gauge Girl Training Instagram. Send me photos and I'll tell you your body type. Becoming Diva says, I have no gallbladder and you can't do high fat. Your stomach can't tolerate it. But doing IF 19 hours but still not losing a lot of weight, sticking to 1,500 calories a day help. You would probably be better on a lower fat protocol, and you may want to take something to help mobilize your fat. Try taking a supplement called Ox Bile. That'll really help you. Farah says, you recently ordered a custom plan, was wondering after the time frame to meet my goals has passed and you meet them, do you order another maintenance phase? I'm nervous about maintaining. Yes, let's get you on a maintenance program. It's going to focus you. It's definitely going to focus you. Phoenix X says, thank you for answering our questions. It's my pleasure. Rita Gomez says, my BMR is 1525. What does that mean? Rita, that means that in order for you to maintain your current body mass, where you're at right now, your body needs 1525 calories a day, assuming that you're doing zero activity over a 24-hour period. That's what that means. That means so much, Naima. Thank you so much. Aisha Khan says, I'm an endomorph, but I love carbs too much to let go. I know keto works for me because you've lost weight in the past, but I'm struggling to stick to it because you miss carbs so much. What should I do? Aisha Khan, I encourage you to do the low-carb, high-fat protocol. There are 2 phases above keto. The low-carb, high-fat protocol is a 3-phase program, 270 menus. Each phase goes lower in carbs and higher in fat. Phase 1 and phase 2 have way more carbs. It allows you to eat foods that you love, and it teaches you how to transition in and out of keto. I encourage you to get the low-carb, high-fat protocol. If you cannot find it on the website, DM me at Gauge Girl Training on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Jenna Cooley asks, how can I get started towards my goals? I see so many plans for coaching, macro counting on Instagram and YouTube, and quite frankly, you're overwhelmed. You think you're a mesomorph, but you're not 100% sure. Jenna, do me a favor, shoot me a DM on the @Gauge Girl Training Instagram account. I'll confirm your body type for you, and we can go back and forth, and I can ask you some questions so we can help you figure out what the best plan is for you. Erica says, thanks, you're at 22% body fat, but super focused. Today is the last day of the vegan banana brownies. Oh, I'm so glad you like them. So Erica, I know you said that you wanted to be a bikini fitness model. You're at 22% body fat right now. So think about this. At 22% body fat, you need to get down to about 13% body fat. So you need to lose about 9% body fat. Now, if you have about 9% body fat to lose, I want to put this into perspective for you. For a female, the most you can lose in a week is about 0.5% body fat. So let's assume in a month you can lose 2% body fat. So if you have 9% body fat to go, it's probably going to take you about 4 to 5 months to get to that goal. Now, you could go a touch faster, but you're looking at about a solid 4 months to get your body fat down that low. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to become a bikini fitness model. It's a lot of work to get there. It's a lot of work to stay there. So I encourage you, put in the work, be consistent. You can do it, but just know it's going to be one of those day in, day out grinds. You got to work out whether you feel like it or not, and you got to put in the work, and you don't just land there magically. Do I recommend any vitamin supplements when on keto shred? You don't necessarily need to take vitamins per se. I do recommend that you guys take some electrolytes. That'll definitely help you out. Where can you find a weight loss meal plan? K-Will, you can check out the 6-week shred on the Gauge Girl Training website. This is what the original 6-week shred looks like for women. This is a great protocol. So guys, it's been a pleasure answering your questions today. I could probably take about 2 more. Thank you, Ruthie. You have no idea. Carolina, you just started a boot camp today. It was your 5th day. You were not able to do most of the workouts. Your arms and legs gave up on you. You wonder if you were supposed to do a rest day in between or just keep on pushing through. Rest is important, and you really want to make sure that you are supplementing properly to help recovery. So for instance, make sure that you're taking some amino acid based protocols. Hello from Colorado. Do I have any suggestions on getting a good night's sleep? Yes. Avoid caffeine 6 to 8 hours ahead of time. Lower the ambient temperature in the room. Turn off all of the lights. And exercise. That will definitely help you out. Naima asks, what are my favorite places to shop for clothes? I'm a big fan of Fashion Nova online, as well as Rebellious Fashion. But Fashion Nova, I have a promo code for them. Promo code GageGirl can save 20% off. I love their variety. I love their price point. And I find that their looks are, you can make them classy. You can make them trendy. You can make them as scantily clad as you wish. You can, you know, show off the goods if you wish. And you can, I just love the variety of their website. As far as other clothing brands that I like to shop at, I like BCBG. I like Ted Baker. I like BCBG, Ted Baker. Who else do I like? I like Anthropologie. But if you just want some like fun, stylish, trendy things, I love Fashion Nova. Elliot says, if following the keto shred, is it enough to continue following the meal plans, or should we test our ketones and tweak to try to get into ketosis? It's sufficient to follow the meal plans. You wake up around 2 a.m. and can't back to sleep. 67 Elizabeth, question for you. Are you working out? And when you're working out, are you pushing yourself to a level of are you pushing yourself? Oh, you're welcome, Naima. And if you're getting in good workouts, like, you will be tired. Like, let's see here. Do you have advice for not putting so much emphasis on the scale? I can physically see my body getting more fit, but the scale isn't moving currently, 150 pounds. Yes. Just don't pay any mind to it. I know that's easier said than done, but the scale is just a number. It is just a number. It is just a number. It is just a number. Like, I could care less if I weighed 20 pounds more, but had like thick, crazy legs, like banging curves, and loved the way I looked in the mirror. Focus on like how you look and how you feel about how you look and how you feel about what your body's able to do. That number is just a number. It does not define your worth as a person. It doesn't, like, as long as you're at a healthy body fat percentage, you know, like if you're like under 25% body fat and you're strong and you're healthy, like the scale, again, it's just a number. Like I said, focus on the things you love about your body. Focus on the things that you love about your body. They call me Ray. What has been the hardest thing for me is dealing with PTSD, which includes very little sleep. It's so hard to work out when you're exhausted. Any advice? Wow, that's a big one. I encourage you to try to give yourself some sort of reset, where you can kind of catch up on your sleep. It's something where you can sort of catch up on your sleep. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but sometimes you need to unplug. Sometimes you may need to allow your body just some genuine rest. And I'm not sure what your work schedule allows for, but even if you need to, you know, take some time off for you to actually reset and just sleep, figure out how you can prioritize that rest, because that's super, super important. You guys, nothing will mess you up more than having your sleep all out of whack. True story. You guys want to hear a true story? One time, because your girl's wacko, one time I stayed up the longest I've ever stayed awake for. Do you guys want to guess the longest I've ever stayed awake for? The longest I've ever stayed awake for was 5 days straight. And during that time, oh my goodness, sorry guys, this screen. Yeah, it was definitely back then, Naima. And I fell asleep on like a Friday and woke up on Sunday. Like it's just not good to skip out on sleep. It's going to mess you up. It's going to throw you off all kinds of ways. So, and yes, Ruthie, thank you for saying that. So if you guys have enjoyed this video and this live and you guys want me to continue to do so, I would be happy to do these every day at noon. This is something new that I'm doing over here on YouTube. So if you guys could all please give this video a thumbs up and just leave a comment on the video once it's published, I'd greatly appreciate it. But thank you guys for watching today. Join me again on Monday at noon. I will be back to answer your questions live here on YouTube. So take care, friends. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Monday at noon. Please make sure you guys are subscribed